Hey friends, this is Bobby Shanks with Shanks Realty Group, and this is another episode of Kitchen Talk. So today I have a really fun topic. I have a special guest with me,
Marina Riley.
the lovely Miss Marina Riley, and she is a brand new realtor. And I thought it would be fun to have you come on to inspire other people who are thinking about a real estate career, and you're super young. I only wish I could have started my real estate career when I was your age. And I want to show people that no matter what your age or what your background is, real estate is a fantastic career for self-fulfillment, scheduling flexibility, certainly financially, and it's just a great career path. So we did a few appointments together.
Yes.
Like job shadowing. And we went to this property.
Mm-hmm.
It was non-conforming.
Yes.
And what non-conforming means is this house wasn't your typical residential home sale. It had other stuff. What was the other stuff?
So it had a small business running out of it, out of a 40 by 40 barn. It was a dump truck business that was family owned. And now that the head of the family, I want to call it, passed away, they were like, well, we can't keep up this property. It's time for us to sell it. And they had a set idea of who they wanted to sell it to, or who they knew it would sell to, how much they wanted for it. And the whole process of getting to the reality of where they stood with their property was a very slow step-by-step process.
It was like playing Monopoly. It took a long time to get around that board.
Yeah, and then you had multiple trustees that you had to work with. So
Yep.
once you got one on board, you kind of used that and had them kind of confirm your ideas or like work along with your ideas to help out to get the other one on the same page or
Yeah.
place on the board if you want to use the Monopoly.
So the thing that was really cool about that appointment was I think a lot of people that get into a real estate career think, right, stereotypically,
Yep.
that, you know, we wear suits to work and expensive shoes and drive a BMW and
Yes.
and right, and none of
Yeah.
that's true, or at least it's not true in my business. I'm very down to earth. I drive a pickup truck, and I mainly do business initially through relationship and just making people feel comfortable. You know, I don't go in there waving my resume or my past solds or how long I've been doing business, because at the end of the day, and you remember the conversation we had, and I said, if you never meet with me ever again, we never coach and mentor, remember this one thing. And that one thing was, people just have to like you, because if they like you, they'll trust you.
Yep.
Now, you got to follow through. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You got to. There's got to be some substance there. You have to know what you're doing, and I think that meeting went well. We'll see what happens. No commitments were made that day. That's okay. You don't always close a deal per se on the first meeting. But again, that was a non-conforming business residence, and it'll be a very unique sale. I'm glad that you went with me on that. It just goes to show, you know, you don't just walk into any normal everyday house and take a listing, put a sign in the ground, and so on and so forth. A lot of times these things are difficult. So now we had another appointment on a house, and it was just kind of a standard residential house. Tell me about that house.
So that house was a small little residential home, I think 3 bedroom, 2 baths. And then it had a little carport in back with its own little workshop, which is kind of its star point, as you want to call it.
Yeah, a large 2-car garage.
With a nice workshop attached.
Like
that
the
had
garage
shelving.
was as big as the house.
I would say that, yeah.
Which was highly unusual for that area, for sure.
Oh, yeah, because everyone else just had a little covered car park attached to the side of their house.
Yep.
And then just a nice yard.
Now, what about the condition of the inside of the home? What did you think?
For them buying it and then like in the process of flipping it when we came in, the condition wasn't bad. It was honestly really well kept. Like there were a few minor issues that they had with like flooding, and they fixed it. And then it was just more of how do we continue on with the problem, like this old bathroom that we tore down, we don't know how to approach it forward from here, and kind of going on past, they've reached this like halfway point where they've gotten what they know they needed done, and now they need to work on what could they do to make a possible profit or to make at least even with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I find that a lot of times my favorite time to be interviewed to list and sell a home is before the home is actually ready to go on the market, because and I flip it in my head. So I'm being interviewed for likability and professionalism and expertise and experience. But on the other side, I'm interviewing the home. Does that make sense?
Slightly.
Yeah. So I'm looking at the home and I'm asking the seller questions about the home. So that's like the reverse interview. And I'm looking at things like, well, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, maybe instead of paneling right here, we need drywall. And over here, remember the bathroom where they are working on the bathroom, you know, should you go ahead and reinstall a new shower, or should we just leave it a half bath? And you see what I mean? I'm just like reverse interviewing. And I find that when you start having that dialogue and that conversation with the seller, it turns the attention on the home itself, the real estate, and it lets them know that you are really paying attention to the details, because real estate sales is definitely in the details, to say the least.
Yes.
And I felt really good walking out of there that day, and the seller had a good list of things to do. And then we came back to the office.
Yep.
Right? We did. And what did we do then?
We immediately went to find houses that were similar to compare it and see what they could do to make a little more profit, see what their houses had, comparables had that house didn't, see what advantage that house had over, and almost all of them was the carport. That was the standalone shining point.
Yeah, it was interesting on that house because there were still enough things inside the house that lended itself to not being the highest property to be sold.
Yep.
But compared to all of the other properties that sold for significantly more, like almost none of them had a garage. And out of the few that did have a garage, they had a 1-car.
Yeah.
This one is a 2-car with a workshop. So we have to help educate that seller who their buyer's going to be, right? So we actually think about demographically who's going to buy this house and who can we market to.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, that kind of brings us to the end here. High five to you and starting your real estate career. I'm super excited for you. I know you're going to do great.
Thank you.
If you are interested in doing business with this super incredible, highly motivational, incredibly energetic and extrovert real estate agent, Marina Riley, please give her a call. Give us your number.
314-566-6514.
Good luck.
Thanks.